Retiring on a cruise ship sounds like the dream. No chores, endless sunsets, and a new port every week. But here's the twist, almost no one actually does it. So I dug into the real costs and surprising roadblocks, and why cruise lines quietly don't want long-term residents on board. Here's what it really takes to live at sea, and whether it's worth it. You've heard the stories, people retiring on cruise ships. Beatrice Muller did it. Mama Lee did it. Super Mario's still doing it. Sounds amazing, right? No chores, no cooking, just endless sunsets and dessert buffets. But here's the catch. Almost no one else does this. Even cruise lines can't say how many people actually live on board full-time. So, why not? If it's such a dream, what's stopping everyone else? Let's find out. Meet Mario Salcedo, aka Super Mario. He's been living full-time on Royal Caribbean ships for over 20 years, and he does it for about $72,000 a year. His secret? 5 simple rules. He picks a budget cruise line, stays in inside cabins, never books extras, hops between the cheapest itineraries, and sticks to the Caribbean. No excursions, no drink package, no casino, just loyalty perks, Wi-Fi, and a steady tan. It's not luxury, but it works. And compared to land life, he's not far off. Want to see the world instead of just circling the Caribbean? Well, get ready to pay up. A lot. World cruises sound tempting, but honestly, they're pricey. One 9-month Royal Caribbean World Cruise? That's over $130,000 if you're going solo. And that's just for an inside cabin. If you want a balcony, you're looking at something closer to $160,000. Even Mama Lee spent around $175,000 a year living on Crystal. That's actually more than double what Super Mario pays. The truth is, if you want to travel the world by ship, you'll need a world-sized budget. Turns out, cruise lines don't really love having long-term residents. An officer once admitted they actually tried to nudge a full-time guest off the ship. Why? As the guest got older, they started needing extra care. Help the crew just wasn't trained or hired to provide. Cruise ships are built for short vacations, not retirement homes. No long-term support, no elder care. The bottom line, cruise lines want travelers, not tenants. Cruise ships do have doctors, but they're not your primary care. They can handle colds, cuts, and sprains, not chronic issues. There's no access to long-term prescriptions, and absolutely no dental care. If something really serious happens, you'll need to be evacuated fast and at your own cost. If you plan to live on board, you'd better stay healthy, and honestly, stay lucky. Living at sea doesn't mean you can cut ties on land. You'll still need a permanent home address for banking, taxes, and benefits. Pension payments, health coverage, even voting, all require a legal residence. And travel insurance, it's expensive and tricky for long-term cruising. The ocean may be your home, but the paperwork still lives on shore. You'll meet new people every cruise, but none of them stick around. Passengers rotate weekly, and crew are working, not hanging out with you by the pool. No lifelong neighbors, no family visits, no familiar faces. Even social butterflies feel it. After months at sea, it's easy to feel like you're surrounded by people, but completely alone. At first, every port is exciting, but after your 10th loop through the Caribbean, you've seen it all. Frequent cruisers stop getting off the ship entirely. And on board, same shows, same entertainers, same trivia nights. It's like a floating Groundhog Day. What once felt like freedom starts to feel like a rerun. Cruise ships aren't constant. They rotate too. Dry docks, chartered sailings, and route changes happen. Sometimes you'll be forced off the ship, even mid-plan. And then there's the big one, pandemics. When COVID hit, even long-term guests were sent home fast. If you're living at sea, be ready to pivot, because the ship doesn't always wait for you. Living full-time at sea sounds simple, until you try booking it. You'll need to reserve every cruise back-to-back for the whole year. That's up to 52 cruises to organize. And keeping the same cabin? Not guaranteed. Miss one sailing, and the chain breaks. It's a puzzle of dates, ships, and transfers. And you're the travel agent. There is a way to live at sea without constant booking headaches, but it'll cost you. Ships like the World or MS Narrative offer full-time residences. You buy a cabin like a condo, starting at $350,000. Annual fees? Up to $1 million depending on the suite. They're floating luxury apartments for the ultra-wealthy. Nice idea, but not exactly in the retirement budget. Living on a cruise ship sounds like a dream, but the reality is steep costs, tricky logistics, and limited support. It's possible, sure, but it's not easy. And cruise lines? They're not exactly rolling out the red carpet for full-timers. For most of us, it's better left as a fun fantasy, and maybe a few extra cruises each year. Now that you know the truth, check out this next video about cruise ship features that make no sense at all. It'll surprise you. Living full-time on a cruise ship sounds like paradise, right? Endless buffets, daily sunsets, no lawn to mow. But once I looked into what it's really like, I realized that fantasy comes with a few plot twists. Let's just say, it's not all umbrella drinks and midnight chocolate fountains. Welcome aboard. And today, we're pulling back the curtains on cruise life's lesser-known realities. Cruise lines love the Caribbean because it's cheap, sunny, and easy. But that also means the ships loop the same 7-day route, again and again and again. For long-term cruisers, it's like living in a beautiful version of Groundhog Day. Same ports, same stores, same towel animals. Even the dinner menus and Broadway shows repeat every week. Eventually, even the midnight buffet starts to feel like Tuesday meatloaf. Cruise ships are social hubs for a week. Then everyone packs their bags and vanishes back to real life. That makes it tough to form long-term friendships or build community. Many longtime cruisers admit to feeling isolated, even while surrounded by thousands. Your bartender might remember your drink, but not your birthday. And no, the cruise director probably won't come to your granddaughter's wedding. Some folks think retiring on a cruise ship beats assisted living. And hey, it does come with a piano bar and lobster night. But here's the catch. Ships aren't designed to care for frailer passengers. The crew isn't trained for ongoing medical support. And the ship's doctor? Great for patching a sprain, not managing your medications. If things get serious, you'll be disembarked into the nearest port. And trust me, that's not always Miami. Cruise ship medical centers handle short-term stuff. Sunburns upset stomachs, the occasional bingo-induced panic attack. They don't refill prescriptions, they don't manage chronic conditions, and they definitely don't do dental. So if a filling falls out mid-cruise, you're stuck Googling emergency dentist near me and hoping your phone works in port. Most travel insurance companies cap trips at 60 to 90 days. And if you're cruising year-round, that's a headache. Some cruisers have to fly home between sailings just to reset their policy. Others juggle short-term coverage like a blackjack dealer. Either way, expect to pay 4 figures a year, even if you're healthy. And no, Medicare won't cover your sprained ankle in St. Thomas. Affordable full-time cruising means inside cabins, and usually guaranteed fares, which means no say in location. Sometimes you luck out with a quiet room midship. Other times, you're next to the engine, above the nightclub, or sharing a wall with the world's loudest snorer. If you're picky about peace and quiet, cruise life might test your patience and your earplugs. Living affordably at sea means switching ships constantly. That means 20 to 30 new cruises a year, which also means hauling luggage through terminals, repacking your life every 7 days, and memorizing a new cabin layout twice a month. Most cruisers live out of a suitcase, with half the contents being wrinkle-resistant beige slacks. And laundry? Well, that's the next chapter. Cruise laundry services cost as much as a new shirt. So, long-term cruisers get creative. Some do laundry in the sink with hotel-size shampoo. Others lug bags to foreign laundromats on port days. One savvy couple even books Airbnbs between cruises, just to use the washing machine. Moral of the story? Pack light, but plan smart. Wi-Fi at sea is like champagne. Expensive, slow, and only fun in moderation. Long-term cruisers often skip the full-time package to save money. Instead, they hunt for free cafe Wi-Fi in port like it's buried treasure. It's great for budgeting. Not so great when you're trying to book your next cruise or video call the grandkids. And no, you probably won't be watching Sunday football on board. Some cruisers live on board by racking up free cabins from casino offers. It's clever, but it's also work. They need to gamble just enough to stay on the casino's radar, but not so much that they lose their cruise budget at the blackjack table. It's like extreme couponing with slot machines. And yes, one wrong move and you're living in a land-based Airbnb wondering where it all went wrong.